Hello, you guys. I am back from work. Pretty easy day, I'd say. I really enjoy I can't believe I'm saying this, but like, I think I like my job. I think fundamentally I don't like working, especially if it is not aligned with what I want to do. But I can't lie. It's really not that bad, you know? And like I said, I come home earlier than usual, so I appreciate that too, and I have enough energy to get stuff done. So I figured, I'm kind of on a roll with talking about writing. Last video was about breaking down the 8 sequences, and I guess today I can fill you in on some of the projects that I'm working on. I've honestly gone back and forth about the big one, the big project that I have going, the one that I'm very much excited for. And I figured, why not? Why not take the time and share it? Really, it's mine. It's out there anyway. The concept. Me and my director for the proof of concept that we're working on submitted it to Decentralized Pictures, which is a platform to. It basically, it's not so much a platform, rather it's a contest to win a grant, and Sofia Coppola runs it, so that's so really cool, and I am looking forward to it. Well, already we got a lot of hits on it and some notes, and it's very exciting. So the big project, the big one, the one I'm in love with, is called The Last Banana. And the little pitch that pairs with it is North America undergoes an economic crisis because bananas are on the precipice of extinction, and the new president of the largest banana conglomerate has a phobia of the fruit. This took time to conjure, to render. I read an article about South America undergoing that same economic crisis, and then it just occurred to me, like, this would be interesting. And I always have this stupid theory that, like, any concept can make a good movie. You just have to, now, I'm not saying any and every, but pretty much, anything. I'm talking in whimsical terms, but so long as you write it well. So when I read this article, that thought went off, and I figured, this wouldn't be too half bad for a movie, and I got into the research of it and the history of the agriculture and how rich it is, the history itself, what had happened, and I mean, the industry itself is worth 139.5 billion right now, and what with the history, I figured this would be an interesting subject to kind of make a movie out of. Now, it is very much in the vein of The Big Short and Don't Look Up, and I have gotten several reviews comparing it to The Big Short, which is so sick. I love that movie very, very much. So yeah, I'm very excited. And then, as this concept snowballed, I wanted to lean into the territory of satire and dramedy, and with that came the cherry on top, our protagonist having a phobia of the fruit, and that gives you that whimsy I was talking about. Think of, like, I don't know, trumpets and stuff and jazz music, and her, like, breaking down. It's giving Black Swan a little bit, I don't know, but and really, I think what sets the tone, what makes you truly understand where this film belongs in terms of category, just imagine Mia Goth as the lead. I think that's when, like, it'll make sense to ya. But that is my project. I'm very excited about it. I have worked, I think, a full year on this now, almost a year. I mean, it really started as just a concept, and then my friend just wanted me to flesh it out, so I did. Whew. And from there on, I mean, it was that versus the script based on Who's Lee. That was the whole point, to be honest, of writing this book. That isn't to say that I don't identify as a novel writer, not primarily, and that also isn't to say that I didn't enjoy the process of writing this book, but the whole point was to attach material to the script to make it easier to pitch some sort of IP. And it could be a graphic novel, it could be a novel, it could be a novella, it could be whatever. But yeah, and I picked novel, assuming it was gonna be easy. But anyway, at the time, it was that versus the banana script. And I was like, because I was already like, I had invested time, a lot of material, even contacts as well, just pitching this concept. And I would go to my friends and be like, hey, would you want to see a movie about this, which is about an Opt-inhabitant, an extraterrestrial forced to achieve human level sentience, but we see the industry end of it, meaning, or the scientific end of it, and the nature of things when bringing this project, this sentient species, to fruition. And by fruition, I mean human level sentience. Or would you rather hear a story about bananas? And I mean, I pitched it, and my friends would just fucking pick that idea, and I couldn't help it. So then I fleshed out the story, wrote the premise, broke it down, and got to writing, and I did several fucking drafts over this, submitted it to Blacklist. It scored relatively high, and by that I mean a 7, if I'm being honest. I still think that is a triumph in my books, because it's fucking hard. It's really hard to get a high script, get anything above a 5 or a 6. So yeah, and from that, one thing led to another, and now I'm working on the proof of concept, which is basically a trailer that you pitch to studios. Other than that, that's the big project. That's what makes my, like, that gives me hope. And also, let me just say, like, there were a lot of signs that encouraged me. And though it sounds woo-woo, but like, there were a lot of signs that encouraged me to write this story. I mean, firstly, I remember I was talking to a friend who's a writer, and I told him about Who is Lee. I told him about the script, and he was like, what else do you have? That isn't to abate, I'm assuming, not in an insulting way, to definitely not to abate the significance of the project I'm working on, but more so testing my bandwidth for writing. And so I just gave him this idea, and he just shot up out of his couch to see, and he's like, we were FaceTiming. He's like, I have to tell you something. Then we talked about several different things, talked about D&D and other projects and what we're doing, where we're at in life. And then we circled back to this, and he told me that his friend he would make posters for his friend's birthday every year, movie posters, and one was about like just like one banana left, and yeah, and like I just it's crazy how like those two lined up, and I thought that was such a strange coincidence. But then anyway, after that, just little signs. Now I know bananas themselves as an emblem, as a symbol, you can see it everywhere, you'll find it everywhere, but back then, like when I was kind of dithering between the two projects, I would see a lot of fucking banana related motifs and symbols. Like they would just show up randomly. And then on top of that, then one day my dad was watching this segment of the Oscars, and it wasn't the Oscars, but it was just like a segment or a commercial or something, and a banana popped up on the screen, on like the podium on the stage of the Oscars or something like that. And he sent me a picture, and it was just more convincing material, basically. And deep down, I knew this is something I wanted to write. So like I said, in the vein of Don't Look Up, especially The Big Short, even Succession, it is very economical, and I guess social. It satirizes people in positions of privilege and power taking advantage of marginalized communities. We do shine light on South America, especially because a lot of the farms are based there, and really just the subject of, surprisingly enough, naturally it had become the subject of food, and that can evolve into a darker and larger theme of consumerism. So that is the idea here. Whew. And then the next project I'm working on, I think I definitely talked about this 2 videos ago at least. It's called The Pastry Box, and it is about this little gadget which represents artificial intelligence, and it takes the place of a late husband, kind of impeding on the process of grief for the wife. And of course it's not in encouragement of the use of artificial intelligence. It is to solely make the point that it is detrimental to our psyche and our well-being and just our society more, I mean, among other things. So yeah, that's what it's about. It's very character based. It is by nature, other than this grounded sci-fi aspect of it, it reads like a drama. It's very pure in that element. And I'm just about done, 70 pages, 69 pages in, but I'm just about done, so can't wait for that. Then I will go ahead and throw it on the blacklist for now, and then I'll see what I'll do with it later. Whew, I thought about it, and I have been thinking about it, working it into, I guess, adjusting it into a different budget through rewrites, and maybe try filming it myself. We'll see how that goes. If not, then sure, fuck it, maybe another proof of concept, just for the sake of it. Having it under my belt is good for me. And what else can I tell you? Well, oh my god, this is another passion. This is truly a passion project, and it has been since day one. It honestly, it was just a form of a leisurely activity. Sims, I've talked about this in a couple of videos back, a few more than a few, but it was kind of the general, very surface level breakdown of what my Sim story is about, and that is pure leisure, but it certainly is a testament to my inclination for writing, because I just, for fun, I would play the game during COVID when I was fucking doing nothing but writing, and I figured, why not do more? But for fun. So I would play, and then I started keeping notes about all the Sims, the chronology, the generations, what's going on, the lore, and it sorry for the little interruption. I lost storage in my phone, so I had to go delete some old videos. But anyway, where was I? I was talking about the expansion of the world, and I kept taking notes, and it amalgamated into a 37-page chronological soap opera of my Sims. And from there, I wanted to start sharing it with people I'm very close to, but before I share anything, I like it prepped and as perfect as it can be, you know, for them. So then I created a little map and emblems, because it went into, it's very fantastical. We've got vampires, we've got sorcerers, we've got mermaids, we've got werewolves, we've got aliens, we've got secret societies, we've got the fucking UN, we've got superheroes, we've got hell, we've got demons. There's so much. Oh my god. But yeah, there's just a lot to deal with. And so it stayed in my mind for the longest time. Then I told my best friend, like, yo, this is some shit that I know you'd fucking like. And they were like, yeah, I would like it. And they did not say it like that, but they requested that I make it into a presentation. That presentation evolved into a 133 slide deck or whatever. Like, there are 133 slides. That's crazy. Then one thing led to another, and recently I had made the official decision of turning it into a series, because fuck it, why not? I enjoy it, maybe someone else will enjoy it too. That doesn't mean it is really defined by proper storytelling. It's not led by that necessarily. So how the events occur and the variation in events and conflicts and reward, or how, you know, how stories are typically laid out, especially in the format of a book, it probably will be different from that, but I don't think I care. I think I just want it out there. I think I want people to be introduced to that part of me, because I like to say the least, imagine. And you know, it's, I think what not in a boastful way, what I like about myself is that I think I can adapt to different genres, and I enjoy it. So with the satire I'm working on, with this grounded sci-fi that I'm working on, with this fantasy that I'm working on, I think it's a testament to my flexibility, and I'm proud of that. So certainly I enjoy, I really get into it at night. After I clean up, settle in, take my shower, do the skincare, whatever. Sit down, I put on fantasy fucking music, a lot of violins, a lot of crescendos, and really get into my story. And I am just at the precipice. I just started chapter 1, but before that there is a whole preface or an intro to the world of the story, and there are rankings, there are laws and axioms, there's just explanations for time, what else? Just like the history of things. I go into Anatolian, Mesopotamian, Sumerian culture and how it is woven into this concept that I have that is kind of a governing concept of theology, and there are boundaries to it. Just the world that I've designed, I really went into it. I went super fucking hard. It's about like 20 pages of intro, but I don't care. This is mine. And then what else? Well, yeah, now I'm into chapter 1, and it'll be, I think, you know, if there is one thing consistent about me, despite the fact that I can, you know, enjoy different genres of writing, my own style of writing, my signature writing, and I think that I can recognize my own. Well, obviously I can, but maybe someday someone else can. And by that I mean, I think I have a tendency to write with like certain lengths of, or the cadence of my writing, the structure of it as far as sentences go, the length of that. I try to maintain a rhythm. And then also stylistically, I try to make, I think my comedy is rooted in like modernity. It just is. It's modern. It has that, I'm not saying edge in a boastful way, but there's something about it. Cause like the first page of Who is Lee, my book, I talk about things that when like family had reached out and said, I want to read your book. So humiliating. Because the first page is about, like, I'm getting so weird about this. I just need to be mature. I'm a fucking adult. It's about jerking off. So, and I'm not saying that's like, I don't know, it's my sense of humor. I'm not saying that's funny, like particular. I think it's just the style. And I probably will incorporate that into into this fantasy concept that I have going, because it also is set in modern day. So we'll have a little bit of fun with that too. We'll see. So anyway, those are the 3 main projects. I have another book that I just do every 2 pages, but I do a Dragging My Feet. I'm gonna be honest. I think that one is just more of an exercise of just getting stuff out there, putting stuff under my belt, and really isn't something I should be admitting on camera. But I think if anything, it just good exercise for me to try different genres, different concepts, and you know, how can I build character, how can I build worlds. Nobody's fucking perfect. I mean, even though there really is no seniority to me, but I act like it because I decided to pursue this field at 14 and genuinely, no lie, never really looked back, and I've been pursuing since. So there is this weird like, oh, I've been doing this my whole life, but I don't mean it that way. And certainly, you know, it's very fair to say that I am imperfect as a writer, and there's plenty of room for improvement. So that is my that landscape is that book is a landscape for me to practice, at least. So it's a cool idea. I'm not gonna lie, it is cool. You know, I liked it. It's about this modern day fashion designer who is revolutionary in a sense, and by modern day, I'm talking like very, very distant dystopian future, and what the world has become after World War III. And there's this united government, but and they appear to be harmonious with its society, with its civilization, but really they're the ones that caused World War III. I don't know if that's that is kind of a spoiler, but there, now you know it. So do what you will with that. I don't even think I'm gonna, when I do list the book, I don't even think I'm gonna, you know, put a price to it. Just it'll just be out there just to see what's up. But that's about it. Those are the main projects I'm working on, and it really does keep me busy. I mean, like I said, when my heart's in it, I'm gonna put hours into scenes, and so I come home and it'll take me a couple hours. I try to keep it to like 3 to 4 max, but to get those 10 pages out, and you know, I don't want to maximize that, because then I think my writing itself it'll feel cumbersome. I won't be, my material won't be of that standard quality. So yeah. And then I shift gears into the Sims story, and it's titled, maybe it's subject to change, I don't know, but it's called it's called the Occult. I don't know if this is stupid. It's called the Cult of the Occults. Madam? I don't know. So that's what I'm working on. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give a little update. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, rest of your week, and I will see you later. Bye.